So far, okay. After this, I'll go vectors, Roslyn. So yeah, you can. I think 30 minutes should be able to complete. Let me think. Should I go direct? Why not we go direct? I think better because it might not be enough time for to explain nicely to you, right? Might not be enough. So why not we go directly to vectors? You can tell me what part you don't understand actually. You can tell like which subtopic of it so that I can like focus directly there. Everything okay. We shall start from the beginning. Okay. Mm-hmm. And then it's quite tough lah to make you like it. See lah whether can or not. Maybe I'll try to bring up something that you like, then maybe you can understand vectors. So, okay. So what is the first word you think in your mind when I say about vectors? Especially you, hopefully I focus on you. Vectors, lines, okay, you can say that, correct? We have lines like this. Not here. Let's say I have like directions like this. So one way you can say is line. And another way is, remember this one. We call your physics, correct? Vector quantity. So what's the important key in vector quantity? Magnitude you have in both quantities, scalar and vector. Remember that? Your chapter 1 form 4. But the key here is direction. And that is what vectors is actually trying to explain you, the whole concept. It's about where the arrow points to. That's why I showed 4 directions here. Going down, going up, going right, going left. So if you say right, is right something positive or negative? If I say something move to the right, will it be positive or negative? Positive, yeah. So that's the common sense you must have in this chapter. So left would be negative. And then up. Up, it will be positive or negative. Positive also, correct? So down will be negative. So from here, right, you can actually form something that you already learned in your physics actually. So let me try here. Okay. Let's say I got this arrow. I take 2 arrows out of this. This arrow and this arrow. I come here. This actually vectors, it's not your what? What you call triangle of what was that? What is it called again? Triangle of vectors or something lah. We call it like that. Okay, so if you want to form a resultant vector from this, how do we form actually? What's your steps in forming a resultant vector from these 2 lines? Your first step. In physics, we call this the horizontal component and this is the vertical component. It's a clue for you. F means force, something like that. So where do you think your resultant force will come from? Actually, you can say resultant force is like your resultant vector. It's the same thing. Because in fact, force is actually a vector. Force has direction because it is influenced by acceleration. That's why middle. Can you like show where the line is? I don't know where's middle. You mean like here to here? Like from top here to down here. Can you see me? Oh, I didn't see that. Yeah. So where's the line? Okay, hypotenuse or something like that. Yeah, correct. So first thing actually what we do is you cannot form directly here, because you see, right, the lines, right, one is pointing up, one is pointing to the right. You can see this, right? Here and here. So what we have to do is you cannot directly put an arrow like this, you'll be wrong already. Because you see this arrow is coming here, and this arrow is also pointing here. This is what avoid in this chapter. So let's say I want to redesign this line. So we got like this. I'll put it here. It's the same thing, because I shift from left here to right here. So it's actually the same thing. So here is right, here is up. So now you can see something. Actually, you can join, it's not wrong, but I prefer this way. Wait, not straight. Like this, okay. You can join in this kind of triangle thing, we call. So this is actually your resultant force or resultant vector, let's say, okay. So here is your fx, here's your fy. So in physics, they will tell this thing as a force of 151 Newton, right? But what we do in maths is we put this as I. Have you seen the symbol I like this? The I with the wavy sign at the bottom in vectors. Yeah, okay, good. So, okay, so let's say I give this as 8I. I give a value 8I, and then here I give you 6J. J is when we go up from bottom to top like this vertically. So this can be something like your Fy, vertical component along the y-axis. Okay, so if I ask you to find this value, what will it be? I give you a hint. This is 90 degree. One is like the lower form max thing. Remember your Pythagoras theorem? 8, 6. Yeah, so what will be this value? If I have 8 here and then 6 here, what is this length? 10. Yeah, very good. So this is 10. So this is what they are actually trying to find, So let's say I've got like A, B, C, right? You will see this in vectors. So they want you to find like AC vector, right? How can you combine to form AC vector is you take AB plus BC. This is equivalent to this. Because you will cut off the B here. B and D is a common point. What we move like this, and then we move up. So this is like combining like a shorter distance like this. Here you take 14 steps. Here you take 10 steps only. 8 plus 6, 14. So you see, AC equals to AB is A. I put I also long. So your resultant will come 8I plus 6J. You can see here. Okay. So one more thing is they'll ask you to find magnitude of vector. And actually you realize, right? The formula is the sign is like this. You'll have like a modulus thing with the AC with the arrow on top. This is how you write it. So the formula, if you notice, right? This is the formula. X squared plus Y squared. And if you notice, right? This is your Pythagoras theorem formula. Isn't it the same? I just shift the square root here. See the similarities? Top and bottom and this. So you're actually doing the same thing. So you see, if I sub my X value, right? Your X value is actually your A. this is correspond to this because I is horizontal, right? And then your y value correspond to the vertical one, which is your j. Okay, so you will get 8 square plus 6 square, and if you press and see, you will get square root 100, and square root 100 is 10. This is what you told, right? See, I've proven it already. So this is why this magnitude here is 10, based on the magnitude formula itself and also based on Pythagoras theorem. So this is the concept, lah. Okay, I think should be okay, lah. So yeah, this is something about vectors, lah. But for other specific things also I'll tell. Yeah, where's the phone now? Oh, someone else very quiet, I think.
I'm not dead.
You look
Can't
like
even
this.
see me.
On cam. Finally. So we go through a bit on vectors also, lah, like further deeper a bit. Vector is actually a topic like what I would say, and horizontal, vertical. Yeah, correct. That's the concept. J means it's vertical, I is horizontal. Same thing like when you do your maths, right? Your translation, right? It'll give you something like a column like this, 5, 7. This means right and left. This means up and down. So this thing also is a form of a vector, if you notice, lah. So that's how you relate, lah. Okay. So another thing about vectors, let me see. I covered magnitude. Okay, so unit vector. Okay, popular question also. Vector questions in paper 1 quite predictable, lah. They'll ask you unit vector, magnitude, parallel vector, non-parallel, like that only. So let's say I got a vector R equals xi plus yj. So always gonna ask, what is x and y actually representing? What do they represent in this formula? It's okay. How about you? The axis, axis, not really. It's like if you heard something called constants, right? Have you heard something called constants? Constants are like numbers actually. Remember, we will put a vector like this. Okay, cannot use 3. R equals 6i plus 8j. Can you see the similarity? X is 6, y is 8. So these are actually constants, x and y. They just put a variable there to like confuse you a bit, I would say, to make things more complicated. So unit vector actually has this sign with a hat on top and then a wavy sign. So this is how you write unit vector in a question. Okay, not bad, understand, okay? So what unit vector is, it's actually taking this xi plus yj over the magnitude. Means I will say unit vector is something like the vector itself over the magnitude of the vector. Magnitude means value, in other words. So you found a value from there, right? Just now I showed like square root 6 square plus 8 square is 10. This is magnitude. So yeah, this one we will sub at the down, and then we will finally like split the fractions. Let's say 3i plus 5j over 10. So you will get 3 over 10i plus 5 over 10j. This is how you leave your answer. Or you can also leave insert 100. This is an alternative if you want to maintain your cert formula. But if you can simplify the cert, why not write 10 directly? If you cannot simplify the cert, then it's a different case. Okay. So yeah, this is about unit vector. Very predictable, the questions. So it's like not like a organized topic, like it's like very separate. The topics are like separate from each other. Okay. I think I see your face then I know. Yeah, okay. The smile is there, I know it's okay. So next. Next thing is about negative vector. I think that one I already explained earlier, but let's say we have an example. Like give an example. You see the common shape they use in vectors is triangles, if you notice. So how to know vectors is you must apply it in questions. You cannot just like learn the theory by itself and expect to know it. You have to try, see the pattern of questions, then you know. So let's say I got a triangle like this. Oh, so big. A, B, C. Okay, let me say AC. This is how you find a vector I'm teaching you. So let's say AC is 3x. Not accurate, but this one is just an estimate. So you must know how to label. Whenever they give you a vectors question, right, they will give you info like this earlier on in the question. So you must know how to transfer this info here into the diagram. So you see here, you must put this arrow over here. Means you follow the direction A to C. A to C, put the arrow down 3x. So you see here. So that's one part. And then let's say I give you AB. AB is 2y, let's say. Okay. So you try basic one first. Okay, let's say I want to find BC now. You always cover 3 sides, right? So let's say I ask find BC now. So what is the possible combination of vectors from this side and this side that can lead you to this BC value? This is what you must think in your mind, your thought process. So you have only 2 info, but you want to find 1 info now. So what's the combination you can think of? It's okay. So BC, right? This way, right? You have the arrow like this. So if you think, right, how you want to walk, let's say this is your home. Let's say this is the park. This is the library. 3 points, right? So now your motive, the question is for you to go from the home to the park, one way. So you have 2 choices. One way is you go direct. One way is you're pushing one round up, down, and then go here. So this is what vectors is trying to tell you actually. To express this short distance, what is the longer route you can take, which will get you to this length? Can get me, right? So it's like 2 possible ways, okay? So next is how to think of it. Let's say I tell you it's BA plus AC. Can you see it here? A is a common point, means we'll cut off. BA plus AC means you get BC, the front alphabet and the most back alphabet. So that's how you get BC equals to BC in the end. So can catch it? Good. So now this is the important point. So BA, right? If you notice the diagram gave you the value of AB. This is the value of AB here, right? And I put the arrow pointing down, means it's the direction of AB. So if I have BA over here, I cannot sub 2y, because it's not the same direction, it's different direction already. BA and AB are not the same. The value is the same, but the direction is not equal. So what you must do here, you got two ways lah. You can either continue your working and write negative 2y directly, or you write negative of AB. Must add a negative sign to this value. Means your BA value will get negative 2y or negative AB, which is negative 2y lah. Because AB by itself is 2y, and then you add a negative in front. Can see? So it's like this, and then negative 2y plus AC. What is AC here? You see it's 3x, right? AC value is 3x, A to C like this, right? So this is your BC. Lah. This is the whole value. You have your answer, D. Now you can get it, right? So let's say I ask you to find the magnitude of this. What will it be? Magnitude of this vector. So I train from this example. Let's say the vector you get is negative 2y plus 3x. So what will be your magnitude value? What again? Magnitude. Remember the formula I told earlier? Square root x squared plus y squared. So how you want to apply to this question? Negative 2y plus 3x. Correct. Pythagoras theorem. So what will you sub inside your x value? Actually, can be anything. Like you can either sub negative 2 or 3 inside here. Because your negative value you square, right? You will get positive. Like negative 2, negative 2. You will get equals 4 in the end. So it's the same thing. So let's say I put it inside here. I will get negative 2 square plus 3 square. So your final answer will be 13. So this is your magnitude basically. Or you can find the value in your calculator. You press 13. Okay. Okay. So if I ask from here, you got the magnitude value already, right? Let's say I ask you what is the unit vector for 3x minus 2y. What will be your answer at the end? Based on the formula I told just now. So you need to know the formula basically if you want to solve. I think quite hard for you to type the third all in this phone. It's the unit, yeah, correct. Unit vector. Remember the one with the what? You represent it like this. Because the vector name is BC, right? So I'll put BC, add sign, and then the wavy sign like that. That is unit vector. So what this one will equal to what in the end? Must recall the formula. Must use this value and this value. So it's negative. Yeah, very good. Means you mastered the formula already. Over 13. So you can leave it like this also, it's no problem. But if you want to like further simplify it, you can put 3 over 13 x. Oh my god, I put down here minus 2 over 13 y. It's the same thing. I just separate the 13 to both sides of the numbers. Means like 3x over 13 and then 2y over 13. So it's the same thing in the end. Okay. I can't see now. Wait, I write on top here. 3x minus 2y. And then over cert 13, right? So we will get 3 over cert 13x minus 2 over cert 13y. I split the cert 13 to both sides of the terms. I think now you can understand that one. Does it matter? I'm not brave to say that, but it's the same value actually, basically. So if they want to like be straight, just try to simplify it lah, just to be safe, just in case lah. So like this is like called the simplest form lah. I would say like usually fraction, right? 2 over 6. You won't leave it as 2 over 6. You will put it as 1 over 3, isn't it? Because natural one, when you solve maths, you won't give the answer as 2 over 6, you give 1 over 3. So this is the same thing. I shift the bottom part to both sides of the terms. So I think now you get it already. So these all are like minor things, not the major thing in the question what they want. Okay, so this one part of vectors. And then there's two other keywords that they'll ask in paper 1. Yeah, parallel vectors and non-parallel vectors. If paper 1 they want to come with question, that's the only thing they'll come with. Okay, so parallel vectors. Okay, so what do you understand by the word parallel when I say? What does parallel represent in maths? Same gradient, yeah, good. But in this case, they won't be so concerned about the gradient because it's a vectors, right? So let's say I got vector A is 2i minus 3j, and vector B is 4i minus 6j. Typical example. So the formula goes like this. A equals lambda B. I don't know if they are familiar with this formula or not. Have you seen it before? I think I have, but lupa. Okay, so yeah, that's why you need to practice now. So this is the formula for it, and it's widely used. So even when the question says collinear lines, right, we apply this concept. Collinear means all the points lie on the same straight line. Why I say this is we analyze the word collinear. Linear means straight line, isn't it? We learn what your famous equation y equals mx plus c is an equation of straight line, right? And then if I add the word co in front, co means same. So same straight line. That's how collinear the word comes from. That's why the all points lie on the same straight line. So we call it collinear points. Okay, so we will use this also. These are just like random alphabets, like vector A and vector B. They can give you like A, B, and AC. They mean the same thing actually. This can be this, this can be this. Okay. So how we utilize this formula? Let's say I sub this inside. So let's say vector A 2i minus 3j equals lambda. That's another question. Lambda represent what? What do we call lambda? I think you have seen this in maths also. They'll use sometimes lambda or k. You remember they use the alphabet k. What does it represent? Your modern maths, remember? chapter 5, chapter 5, form 5, chapter 1. The reaction says it all. Variations, yeah, correct. So what we do in variation is you have something like this, right? I don't want this one. Let's say I give you a random letter, like A varies directly as B. You have these, right, variations, something like this, the equation, yeah. So you can see the similarities here. How do you convert variation to an equation? What do you do, your step? Variation to equation. Equation means you have to have the word equals, I mean the sign equals. What do we do when we convert this to an equation? What do we add to the equation? Yeah, so that's the K. And do you notice? Isn't it the same form? K is like your lambda, means it's a constant. So this is what they try to bring out here. So famous constants are like alpha, beta, lambda, K, anything you want, gamma so can, delta so can. So you see this all in maths, right? So all these are actually constants. Greek alphabets, all the Greek alphabets we can use as constants. All these. Okay. So I'll sub the B value now. 4i minus 6j. So what I get for lambda? Can you find out the value or not from the equation here? Your basic shifting, like you shift the fraction down like that. Wait, it's not so clear. Wait, I write here. This form, right? So we have 2i minus 3j equals lambda. B is 4i minus 6j. So you try to find your lambda from here. What you will get? Yeah. What you looking there so long? Try also lah. You can solve actually directly from here. Not Roslyn, willing. What's the good sign? Tell the answer.
You want me
What's
to
the
tell the
answer you'll
answer?
get for
1
yeah.
over 2.
Yeah, see, quick maths, 1 or 2. So how you get it actually is you see the pattern here. You put negative. Okay, so you see here, right? 2i minus 3j over 4i minus 6j. So what can you notice here is actually like the pattern is here you times 2. Here also you times 2. From 3 to 6, you times 2 times 2. So how you get 1 over 2 is you factorize the equation. So if I factorize 4i minus 6j, right, I take out the common factor of 4 and 6. What is the common factor of 4 and 6? Basic question. 2, correct. So if I take out 2, what you will get in the bracket is actually the same as the numerator, 2i minus 3j. Because when you expand back, right, 2 times 2, you get 4i. And then 2 times 3, you get 6j. Okay, so it's the same thing. Well, so now what you can do is you cancel the up and the down. So there you get 1 over 2. Because here is times, so you can cancel up and down. So you get 1 over 2 as your final answer. And you should expect a number because lambda is a constant. Means you cannot have variables in your final answer. Constant is number. It's just like a fashion word they want to use for number. That they use the word constant. Okay. So yeah. This is about parallel vectors basically. And then just nice timing. Last one is non-parallel. Then the whole chapter done already. Wow, God giving me applause. Wow. So the last one is just non-parallel. And then you have to practice by yourself questions. Then only you will learn how it comes out. The concept all is here already. But how to turn it into an application, you have to do questions. Non-parallel also quite easy. It's just your linear equations concept only basically. So non-parallel. The formula I tell first. The keyword you will see in the question is either non-parallel or non-zero vectors. This is the keyword you must spot for in the question. So it can be either one, they will tell in the question, or they will tell both. Let's say given vector A and vector B are non-zero and non-parallel vectors. So let's say I give you A is what? A is, I give the previous example, 2i minus 3j, and B is 4i minus 6j. Let's say the vectors are like this. So the formula goes something like this. HA equals KB equals 0. This is the formula they give you. So if I ask what is H and K again, what is H and K representing? Constants, yeah. So those are the numbers they hidden from you, they hide from you. H and K are constants. So how we apply this is, we can either assume two things from here. You can assume HA equals to 0, and you can assume that KB is 0. Because both of these equal to each other is equal to 0. Means this part alone can be equal to 0, and this part can be equal to 0. Okay? So this is the thing. And then now we have to calculate these two conditions. So you see directly from here. Let me think. I oversaw this example so that I put a variable here. Let's say I want to find 2 minus x I minus 3j, okay? I'll change on top here. 2 minus x. Okay, so what we will do is actually, we will take like this. We will assume that this is vector A, right? So this part only. So we will take 2 minus x minus 3 equals to 0. Means the question will be like, find the value of x. So using this formula, so we will get 2 minus x minus 3 is 0. This 2 minus 3 is negative 1. Minus x is 0. Minus x is 1. X is negative 1. This is your x value to make it parallel. Because if your x is negative 1, the whole vector will come to 0. That's why it's not 0, non-zero. So when you sub your x value, the value you get must not be equal to 0. So this is your answer. You see, basic linear equation solving only, actually. Okay. So I think you understand already. So you see, this is actually basically all about vectors. Yeah, I can say that. There's nothing else here. Only thing is you have to try like trial questions and all that to improve more on the topic. Okay. So yeah, perfect timing. Lucky I didn't discuss that one. Wait. I need this picture for live. Wait. Should I stop first? I stop recording.